brooding frog. This amazing frog actually swallowed its fertilised eggs or newly hatched tadpoles. The stomach then began to function like a uterus, and the tadpoles grew into fully formed frogs. When they were big enough, the mother would projectile vomit them out. Yes, projectile vomit them out. The frog's unique stomach function had scientists wildly excited about the possibilities for modern medicine. But no sooner had it been discovered than it disappeared from the wild. It became extinct in the early 80s, an opportunity lost. An introduced species caused the catastrophe. Chytrid fungus, which lives in its skin, the apparent reason for extinction. Obtain a specimen from so long ago.
I went to the person that I knew had last had a colony of these frogs, that was Mike Tyler in the University of Adelaide. And he had, coincidentally, frozen whole gastric brooding frogs in the bottom of his freezer. So we now have a team of experts drawn from all over the world. It's the perfect team we need to carry this project out.
So this project looks at recreating an extinct species using a process called somatic cell nuclear transfer. We have to take a cell from our frog that's been kept in the freezer and put it back into the egg of another Australian frog. Now that Australian frog, we can get those eggs and we have to remove the DNA, so it has no DNA in that egg. We then replace it with a cell from our gastric brooding frog. It then interacts with the egg and starts to develop into a tadpole.
So this is actually our host frog species, the great barred frog, where we get our donor eggs from. It's a slow process because as far as we know it only breeds once a year, so we actually have to go out each year and collect these from the wild, and then we induce them with hormones when we actually require the eggs.
Cloning has been done before, famously seen with Dolly the sheep in 1996. They took cells from a sheep and injected them into the egg of the same species of sheep, which produced a clone of the first one. The gastric brooding frog is more challenging, as it uses cells of an extinct frog with the egg of a different species. So how successful have you been?
So there's a global effort to bring back extinct species, but our team is the only team to have brought back and have the embryo divide of an extinct amphibian. That's amazing. So
far the embryos have lived for 3 days, so there's still work to do before reintroducing the gastric brooding frog back into the wild.